All right, I'm going to try and answer one more question tonight. I'm not as lucid or as clear or as concise in the evening as I am first thing in the morning. So please forgive me and endure my fucking clumsy attempt to answer these questions. So let's see what we got here. I think it's just a side effect of my age. I don't know. You know what I mean? I get tired. I tire out easily. And we got, this is from Oody Doody. What do you guys mean by pulling your calf back? I didn't understand any of the explanations, etc. I'm actually surprised you could even hear it with all the noise in the background, and I apologize for that. Can you please explain or make a follow-up video? Yes, I can do both. Been subbed for a while now, and I really like your channel. Thank you. Thank you. So, let me get into that. Oody Doody. So let me explain that, and we'll do a calf video too. But right now, here comes the explanation. First off, it's in your mind. Your body can't go where the mind hasn't already gone. Think about that for a second. Everything takes strategy, right? Gorilla with a cause. First, you got to have the cause, and then you go after it. And you got to put a game plan together. You just don't blindly do it, right? When you decide to drive a car, you learn to drive the car first. You learn the laws, all that kind of bullshit, what the signs mean, shit like that, how to operate the car. Then you go drive the car. And then you get good at it as you do it more. Same thing with anything, right? You decide you're going to put some muscle on. If you want to do it successfully, then you need to learn about what it's made out of, what I should eat, etc., how I should train. And then you get in there and do it, and as you do it, you get better at it. And as you tighten down and get the nuts and bolts right, then becomes more complete, your training regimen, and you make progress. So first thing I think is very helpful, it's always been helpful for me, to stop and realize that no muscle can push anything. Muscles can only pull. So sometimes we say, it's a push day versus a pull day, or sometimes we think of a pushing exercise versus a pulling exercise. These are all misnomers, and it's okay. I mean, I say this shit too. So it can be confusing, because one time I'm telling you that no muscle can push, and then another time I'm talking about pushing the weight. When really I'm pushing the weight in the direction it's going versus my body, right? Away from me. But I'm not really pushing the weight. You see what I mean? I'm actually always pulling the weight. And it's just relevant to how you conceptualize what you're doing. All muscles pull. Okay, if I'm extending my arm, I'm actually pulling. This tricep is pulling this arm out straight, right? If I'm benching, this pectoral muscle is shortening and pulling my shoulders around so that I can bench, so I can move the weight this direction. So muscles are pulling, all muscles pull. Muscle has to contract. It's easy to conceptualize in some exercises. You think of a curl. Think of a curl, right? You know that arm's pulling, that bicep's pulling that weight up, right? You know that bicep's pulling that weight up. But even when you're doing, tricep exercise, right? Even when you're doing a tricep exercise, that muscle's still pulling. This muscle's pulling. It's pulling. The lighting's not that great in here. I know arms look like shit in this light, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Tricep shortening and straightening the arm out. Bicep is shortening and contracting to pull it up this way. And it's the same thing with every leg muscle. You lay down, you're doing leg curls. Same thing, leg curl is just like a bicep movement. The hamstring is shortening, it's contracting to bring the heel up, right? To bring the leg up. And it's the same thing with calf work. When you're doing calves, you're sitting on this calf machine. And now I've always utilized this kind of thought process in pretty much everything that I do, and it has helped. But for whatever reason, I've never really thought about it with calves. That's odd. But to be honest with you, I mean, we're all still learning. I still learn. And when Jared pointed that out, I'm always preaching that. No muscle pushes, all muscles pull. No muscle pushes, all muscles pull. All right, you bear that in mind, you learn to feel the contraction better. You have better control over the muscle. You learn to isolate better. But I never really thought about it with calves. And my calves grow decently. I work the shit out of them. You would expect them to be bigger than they are. But from my vantage point, looking down, they never look big enough. All right? See dudes like, Jose Raymond, or like Guy Cisternino, right? These guys, their calves in person are so fucking huge. They look like softballs under their skin or little bowling balls. And then you look on your own leg because of your angle, it never looks big. But my calves grow pretty well. They're pretty decent size. I mean, they're like 18 inches right now, which isn't monstrous, but they're still pretty big. But I never actually thought about that calf pulling to extend my toe, to point my toe. And so when I'm on a calf machine, I always feel like I'm pushing. And I'm always thinking, conceptualizing, and envisioning that I'm pushing the ball of my toe, right? Ball of my foot. But I'm really not. The ball of my foot is making the contact with the machine, if that's the machine I'm on, but I'm actually pulling with the calf muscle. And when Jared said that, it clicked, and I thought, damn, there's something I haven't been thinking of it like that. And I actually have tried it already. I actually tried it today in the gym and thought about it, and it had a whole different feel. And my girlfriend, she did calves today also. She tried it. And, you know, she had to think about it for a minute. And once she got on board with it, she too said that it had a whole different feel. And even when I'm sitting on the couch in the living room today thinking about it, right? If I just push my toe out, I get one kind of contraction. If I actually visualize that I am pulling the heel up and I'm shortening that calf muscle in the back, my calf flexes an entirely different way. So I think probably a combination of doing it both ways, once you get the feel for it, it's going to give you better development. So right now, I'm really concentrating on pulling with the heel rather than pushing with the toe because I can see my calf flex differently when I do it without any weight, just sitting here extending my leg, and I'm going to show you in a minute. So that's what you should practice. You don't even need any weight. You can sit at your house and just practice it. Just don't even push on anything or, you know, pull or anything. Just sit there with your leg extended, right? Your knee just out in front of you, and it's just my heels, weights on my heel, just on the floor. And I'm doing it both ways. I feel the calf pulling the heel back, and I push with the toe, and I look at the leg, and the calf looks different. The contraction looks different. I am flexing a different part of the calf. So by doing it that way, now I'm working an aspect of the calf I haven't worked. Not intentionally, you know. So I think it's a win, and it's a way to go. So I'm gonna try and show you as best as I can what I'm talking about. So bear with me a minute here. Let's see. Let me turn this around so I can see what the camera sees, and then we'll see if you get the idea. All right? This is gonna work, trust me. I gotta put these on or I won't be able to see a fucking thing. All right, hang on a minute here. In fact, let me turn this off a second. I'll get into position and turn it right back on, and we'll link this shit together somehow, and end result is you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. All right, hang tight. Okay, let's see if you can see this. Here I'm going to push with my toe. That's pushing with the toe. Okay. Now let me pull up with the heel. That's pulling up with the heel. See that big ball at the top? See the difference? Can you see that? Can you see that difference? Look at that ball. See how that ball swells out? Whereas I push with the toe, right? It comes out, but I'm putting pressure on it. Let me see if I can get better with this leg. Push on something once. All right, I'm pushing with the toe. I'm pulling with the calf. Oh, there we go. See that big ball? That's pulling. Pulling up with the calf right there. Pull up with the calf. Pushing with the toe. See the difference? Pull up with the calf. Pull up with the calf. See, look at that ball up there swelling up. Push with the toe. I don't know. I don't know if you can see the difference. Hang on, let me put this back on. All right, I'm back. So, I don't know if you saw that or you didn't see it or it looked the same to you from the angle, but it feels totally different, and I can see the difference myself. So all I can say is try it. Just kind of from now on, get your mind into the habit of when you perform an exercise, think to yourself, consciously make yourself aware of what muscles are contracting to move that weight or to move against that resistance. and it's always going to be a muscle pulling something. Muscles are pulling, right? No muscle can push anything. Muscles pull. So once you get that into your head, all right, then you can learn, hopefully, with enough practice, you might be able to feel it right off the bat. You'll be able to get a better contraction. And that's what it's all about, is actually feeling it and getting a better contraction, the best contraction you can get. And the end result, the muscle should become a bigger, fuller, more thoroughly developed muscle. I believe that's what's going to happen with my calves now. And I tried it today, like I said, and man, I actually got a totally different pump. I mean, some of it spills over. You can only isolate so much. You can only, when you have multiple muscles involved in a joint, in hinging, or moving, like an ankle or an elbow, extending an arm or raising a shoulder, you can isolate to a degree. Now, you can enhance the degree to which you can isolate by your ability as you develop the muscle to be able to communicate and single out one aspect of that muscle. It's still going to overlap. You're never going to be 100%. You're only using that one head of that muscle. But it will make a difference, and it should show in your development. So, see what you can get out of it. Like anything else, play with it, see what you think. If you find it's a big asset, a big boon, and you actually have stumbled onto something and you say, wow, I love this, I'm going to hang on to it, then that's awesome and it's great and it's a success and I'm glad to share it with somebody. But if you try it and you say, fuck it, I don't even feel it, I don't even like it, then go on back to doing the things, your things the way that you do them, whatever's successful for you. If it works, it works. So that's what it's about, Udi Duty. No muscle pushes, all muscles pull. So think about that when you're working out and try and get your head into that. With calves, it's definitely an odd thing to conceptualize. Hey, today's the first day I actually tried it, but something clicked as soon as he said it. As soon as Jared pointed that out, something clicked to me. And it's something that I've always preached, but for whatever reason fell by the wayside when it came to calves. I didn't really practice what I preached. So for me, it's a nice, new, exciting thing, and that's what I'm going to be doing now when I do calves, and we'll see where that goes. So I appreciate that from Jared, and it kind of woke me up a little bit, and made me think that, yeah, man, I'm forgetting some of my own basic principles and rules. So give it a try. I hope that did something for you, and you can understand what it's about now. And there'll be a video coming. I'll get into the gym very, very soon, and who knows, maybe tomorrow, maybe not, hopefully soon. And I'll do some calves, and I'll utilize that idea then and give you an idea of what I do for calves. And when I train calves, I train it just like I'm training arms or something else. Not as hard as arms, because arms, you got your bicep, 2 muscles involved, 2 heads, got your tricep, 3 heads involved, and ancillary type of muscles. Like when I do triceps, I do rear delts. When I do biceps, when I do triceps, I'll do rear delts, and I'll also do medial delts. And when I do biceps, I've usually already done back, and then I may, I don't usually isolate front delts. I don't usually isolate anterior deltoid because it just seems to grow just fine just from all the chest work. Anyway, that's what I got, but I do isolate for medial head of the delt, this, and rear delt, posterior. So that's it for now. We'll move on and we'll come back and revisit this when we put the application into practice. We actually apply it in the gym. All right. Have a great night, great weekend. Keep eating, keep training. Don't give up, and don't let anybody tell you what your limitations are. All right. Peace out.